Welcome to Home Cooking with Holly. Today, I'm going to show you how to make rigatoni. It's delicious, it's filling, and your family will love it. Now I'm going to bring a pot of water to a boil. And I happen to be making a batch of my pasta sauce right now just next to this, so I'm going to have that fresh out of the pan to use. But normally I would thaw a batch that I had frozen to use for this. Now I'm going to use rigatoni here, but you want to use a larger pasta that has a bite to it. So you could use a medium shell, you could use farfalle, the bow tie pasta, you could use rotini, you could use ziti, just something, larger tube or shell shape would be a good idea. Now you can see the bubbles are starting to form in the bottom. It's not quite boiling yet, but it's going to be soon. I am going to add some kosher salt. You can use sea salt, whatever salt you like to use, but I am a firm believer in your pasta water needing to be salty like the sea. So again, like I say, I'm not really a measurer, but I put in a lot, probably a good handful of salt into my pasta water. A small handful. I have small hands, but you would definitely want more than a pinch. It will flavor your pasta as it's cooking because pasta takes on whatever flavors you give it. I do not add olive oil to my pasta water. I love olive oil. It's probably running through my veins, but I do not add it to pasta water. Some people like to do that so their pasta doesn't stick together, especially if they're doing like an angel hair pasta or something, spaghetti, thin spaghetti. I don't do that because if you do that, your pasta sauce is less likely to stick to your pasta. I'm going to pour in about half of this box of rigatoni because I'm just going to use a 9-inch square pan. I'm only making a small batch today. If I were making a full family meal, I would use the whole box. And once you drop your pasta in, it's important that you give it a stir just so it doesn't have time to settle and start to stick. And then I'm just going to keep an eye on it and stir it occasionally. And I like to cook my pasta to al dente. So you can follow the box directions, but I would definitely go on the lower side, the shorter side of the recommended time. I generally ignore the time and I go by the taste of the pasta. You want it to have a little bite to it, but not be hard. But it needs to have some sort of a chew to it to truly be al dente. Another way I can tell if my pasta is done is you see when I stir it, it still has quite a yellowish color to it. That also sort of tips me off that it's not ready yet. It'll start to be more of a whitish color when it is ready. And our pasta is looking really good. I'm going to give it a taste, make sure that it's got a little bite, a little chew to it. Most of that yellowish color that it started out with has gone away, which is what I want. And yes, it's good. It tastes really good. So it is ready to go. Now I've been making my homemade pasta sauce in the pot just next to this. And it started out with onion, garlic, and ground beef. And after I drained the ground beef, I will link this video in the description below so that you can go back and see the whole thing. But after I drain the ground beef, I add in tomato paste, water, my seasonings, and some sugar. This is a sauce that I do have a little bit on the sweeter side, and I use it for several pasta dishes. And it's definitely one of our favorites. I also will put a Parmigiano Reggiano rind into this. And it just brings out so much more flavor in the pasta sauce. It's just a definite must in our house whenever I make this sauce. Here you can see the rind in there. And later I actually scrape the rind to get all of that extra good cheese off of it and put it back into the sauce. But I will link that below so you can follow along on that one if you'd like. All right, my rigatoni has been drained. I have the pasta sauce I've been making as well right next to it, so I'm just going to scoop some out with a ladle and add it in here. I usually will do about 3 scoops for this amount of pasta and give it a stir and see if I want to add any more. And of course, if I were making a full batch, I would double that. And it looks like I do want a little more, so I'm going to add a 4th scoop here. A 4th ladle. Now you could serve this just like this. Maybe grate some Parmigiano Reggiano on the top and it's good to go. But I'm making a baked rigatoni, so I still have another step. I have used cooking spray in my square pan. You can use an 8x8 or a 9x9 for this amount. This will make like a lunch for 2 or 3 people, or a side dish for even 3 or 4 people. And I'm just going to scoop it into the pan. Make sure you've preheated your oven. I like to do about 400 degrees. But you do want to make sure you've preheated your oven if you're using a Pyrex dish like I am. You don't want to put it in until it's preheated. Pyrex can be a little picky about that. And then I'm just going to sprinkle on lots of mozzarella cheese. We love a lot of mozzarella cheese. So I'm going to completely cover the top. I'm probably going to use at least a cup of cheese on this. Okay, I've gotten it out of the oven. Oh my goodness, it looks and smells so good. So good. It's cheesy, it's gooey, it's saucy. I can't wait to dive into this. I have some good cheese pull in here, I can tell, because there's so much cheese on it. Some of the edges get a little crispier, and I'm a total edge girl. If you put a pan of brownies down in front of me, I want the corner pieces. That's my favorite. And I'm the same way with baked pastas, lasagnas, and things like this. I like to eat those crispy corner edges. Let's give it a taste. Okay. It's cheesy. Salty mozzarella is so delicious. The pasta has that nice firm bite to it that I like. All right, what did you think? It's delicious. You can make it with my homemade pasta sauce. I will be sure to link that video in the description below. Let me know what you thought of this. There are lots of things you can make with that homemade pasta sauce, so stay tuned for more ideas. I hope that you'll like and subscribe to follow me for more recipes and cooking tips.